Yo, what's going on, guys? Ronald back with the Weekend League podcast for the first episode of August. I got my boy Chris and Brian here in the studio. We're going to talk about some footy news, some soccer-related content. You know, we got a lot of news this week. We're still in the heat of the transfer window. A lot of names are being thrown around. A lot of teams are dropping bids and all this speculation, and we don't know where players are going to end up. This is the exciting part of the transfer window towards the end. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good week because of the transfer window. What's happening? I mean, it's the last month, so for a lot of these clubs, it's gotta make it happen because if not, you're gonna start the season off horribly. So yeah, I think it's very exciting. We have some pretty good news to go over and some big transfer rumors. So yeah, what are you gonna say, bro?
All right. Well, transfers are exciting, guys. But how about we start off with the men's best player nominees? Would you guys like to start with Ronaldo? Ronald, what do you think of his chances of winning?
Well,
I mean, how about you just read off the top 10, or what do you think?
Well, the list is pretty long so far because it's kind of like a short list.
Oh, okay.
But there are a lot of players that are being considered. You're even looking at people from like Hazard to De Jong and De Ligt, and a bunch of people. You even have people that some people might not even consider, top 10 in the world, but they're on that list. So it's really controversial. It always happens every year. The short list is always announced, and everyone has their questions and everyone has their speculation and all that stuff. So that is something we could talk about. I think Ronaldo is obviously still one of the best players in the world.
But do you think he deserves to win the best men player in the world, at least for this year?
Exactly. Tell us why, if you think so. If not, why not?
Honestly, Ronaldo had an incredible season, but I don't think that he deserves it this year. I think there was other people that outshined him. If it was up to me, I would like to see a defender win it. I do like the Netherlands, but my issue there is that he plays for Liverpool, so I don't want to talk about Van Dijk. But he is a great player, and he did lead his team to the Champions League, played well in the Premier League. I think it's someone that you got to keep in consideration. But we do know how these things are. They're very popularity contest oriented. So it could be just Messi, Ronaldo, and Mbappe top three, and then one of those three gets it, and
I mean, yeah, you're right, but at the same time, I mean, it's not like Mbappe had a bad year, neither did Messi.
Yeah, but what did Mbappe do in any competition?
They won the World Cup.
Besides
that was last summer.
That was last summer.
Yeah, but still, they still count that as a year, don't they? Or they don't?
No. It's the season, from the start of the season to now.
Okay, so
yeah.
I mean,
because they announced the best from last season, which part of the World Cup?
Yeah,
which was after.
That's true.
Either way, I mean, Messi could still.
No, Messi could definitely win it.
You can still make an argument Messi deserves to win it.
You can make 5 arguments that Messi could win him. Messi's definitely a shoo-in for it. I think he's probably the favorite. But, they are these other... I don't know why Harry Kane's on the list. To me, Harry Kane shouldn't be there.
I mean, he made it to the Champions League final. That's pretty impressive. But,
He was injured, though. His team didn't make it with him.
I think
the last two games, right?
If anything, Heung-Min Son should be on that list.
No, I agree.
Balled out.
I think Son played a much bigger role than Harry Kane this season. That being said, I think...
And if they hugely base it off the Champions League, then no one should deserve it more than Virgil van Dijk or anyone on that Liverpool team.
You know who I think
That's true.
You know who I think is missing? Alisson.
Yeah, of course.
Copa America has the most clean sheets in the league.
The best goalie in the world. There's no goalies on the list.
No.
At all.
Honestly, I mean, I like De Jong, but I don't know if Frankie De Jong should be considered in the top 10.
I mean, yeah, he had a great season, made it to the semis. Ajax made it to the finals of the Nations League with the Netherlands, but I don't think he deserves to win it. I think you guys would agree.
You know who's a dark horse in this that no one is talking about?
Who?
Sadio Mane.
Yeah, he made it pretty far into the African Cup of Nations, right?
He made it to the finals.
He made it hard
to the finals.
To the finals of the African Cup of Nations. He was one of their top scorers for Liverpool last season.
Won the Champions League.
Finished second, or was it second or third and second in the league?
Yeah.
Second.
Bro, and there's no players here from City.
Which I was about to say that. I think Bernardo Silva should be considered up there.
Yeah.
Silva had one of the best seasons, and honestly, one of the reasons why City won the league. The things he was doing for that midfield was insane.
So last year we did have Luka Modric win it last year, and that wasn't as controversial because he had just come off the World Cup performance, winning the Champions League with Real Madrid, and then Ronaldo shined in the Champions League but couldn't really do much with Portugal in the World Cup.
That's true.
So then that's why Luka Modric was a shoo-in for it. But we will see this later in the year when the short list gets cut down again. We'll see who wins it. Recently, also something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Recently, the power rankings for the Premier League coaches came out.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw something about it.
It was very, very weird. A lot of they had Frank Lampard and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the bottom 15 of the Premier League.
Understandable. Not for other guys. I mean, I can understand from Lampard. Brand new coach.
He's unproven. He's really unproven, and we don't know what we're going to get out of him.
He's only had one okay season with Derby County.
Yeah,
and that was the championship.
Exactly. So. It wasn't a bad season either, and it was with fucking Derby.
No, of course. No one's saying it was a bad season. But the questionable thing about it was a lot of people were questioning Ole's inclusion in the bottom 15 of the Premier League. And I honestly, obviously as a United fan, I don't agree with that, but there is that stigma that he's not a good coach, that it's more about the team, but at the same time the team is organized by the coach.
I mean, that's true, but if you look what happened, I don't know if you believe in conspiracy theories where that the players played like trash to get Mourinho sacked, and then they played amazing for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get the job the first few weeks, and then after he got the job, they just kind of went down in quality. I don't know whether you believe the players do that on purpose or not, or it's up to you, but or it's rather up for debate.
So, just to go over the list real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm gonna go over the list from bottom to top. 20th place is Graham Potter. 19th was Steve Bruce. 18th was Ralph Hasenhüttl. Hasenhüttl, I think it is pronounced. My bad if I pronounced it wrong. 17th was Chris Wilder. 16th was Frank Lampard. 15th was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 14th was Dean Smith. 13th was Daniel Farke. 12th was Marco Silva. 11th was Javi Garcia. 10th was Eddie Howe. 9th was Roy Hodgson. 8th was Sean Dyche. 7 was Brendan Rodgers. 6 was Nino Espiritu Santo. 5 was Manuel Pellegrini. 4 was Unai Emery. 3 was Mauricio Pochettino. 2 was Jurgen Klopp. And then 1 was Pep Guardiola.
I think the top 3 just went kind of based off the
rankings.
The rankings that actually happened in the Premier League, except for Chelsea, obviously, because if not, Sarri would be there. But
I don't think Emery is top 4 manager in the Premier League. I don't think so.
You're talking about someone that's won 3 successive Europa League.
With Sevilla.
But what has he done with Arsenal?
What do you mean? He's been given a pretty bad Arsenal team and not given as much freedom as some other coaches in the league have.
So then why would someone like Eddie Howe, who's maintained Bournemouth above the Premier League and maintained them in the Premier League for 4 seasons in a row, why is he not higher? He's 10th.
Because he plays attacking football on a crappier team?
I don't think he should be...
West Ham Pellegrini is 5th? That's the 5th ranked manager in the league?
Pellegrini is a good coach.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but at the same time, 5th with West Ham?
But wait,
what did West Ham do?
But this is the thing. Isn't this power ranking based on, their actual, experience in general?
No. It's about the team that they're on.
You sure? Because...
Of course.
Does it say?
It doesn't say. It just says power rankings.
See, look,
Premier League power rankings.
With each manager's trophy winning record and career highlights, part of the formula to determine this season's 1 through 20.
Oh, so they look at the whole. Based on that, then yeah.
Exactly. So they look at the whole life.
So
career,
so let's say you based it off last season. Where would you rank them?
Oh, based on last season.
Let's do top 5. Top 5.
Top 5: Guardiola, Klopp, Pochettino.
Not just Premier League. All competitions.
All competition?
All competitions.
All right, so you guys.
Now do Champions. Do Premier League.
We can do Premier League, but I think all competitions is more encompassing because we had 2 managers in the top 2 win 2 really hard competitions.
All right.
So it's hard to rank them.
All right, I'll give you.
But if you just do Premier League, it's a lot easier to just rank Guardiola number 1.
All right, for me.
What we're talking about. Coaches, my bad. We're talking about coaches in the Premier League.
In the Premier League,
but looking at what they've done for their team in total.
Correct.
Okay.
What their team did.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
So do top 5 real quick.
Wait. So are we doing all
competitions? Yeah.
Top 5.
All right, I'll go first then. I guess Klopp, since he won the Champions League and he came second in the league. Then Guardiola, Then I'd have to put
So
my
wait,
opinion.
before I let you finish, my bad. So you guys think that winning the Champions League is a higher
Yes.
thing than winning the league?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, Klopp did finish second by a few points.
Yeah, he almost won the league too.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to clear that out. I don't take that. I don't take your ranking away. I just want to know that.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, third for me. This gonna be controversial, but I think it was Ten Hag, manager of Ajax. I think.
okay.
No,
wait, no, we're doing Premier
Premier
League.
League.
now.
Oh,
Premier League.
sorry.
Premier League managers.
Then yeah, Pochettino third. Fourth would be.
And I don't think that would have been controversial, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. Well, besides the point, yeah, go ahead.
I guess Saudi, and fifth. For me, it's between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Emery, but at the same time, I just don't know.
Pick one. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get mad.
I'm not gonna get
No,
married.
it's not even that. It's just
As he
I'm
tenses his
having
muscles.
I'm having trouble deciding. Like,
I'm flexing right now, guys.
I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, considering he came in 6 months and saved the team from what place were they?
We were 9th or 10th when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in. We weren't even in Europa League spots.
And he finished sixth.
And
So
he finished
I
sixth.
think that's pretty good. So I'll put him for fifth.
Yeah. Pretty much my list is more or less identical to yours.
So then go over
Instead of so I'll put first Klopp, even though I'm not a big fan of the man itself, but I do
I
understand.
wouldn't say you're not a big fan. I say you would hate.
I hate the guy. But
For
I
no
do
reason.
I do
For
understand.
no reason.
I do understand he's a good coach. I do understand he's a good coach. So second I put. Honestly, before I put Guardiola, I put Sarri there.
Sarri, what the hell?
Yeah, 'cause
He's
Sarri
not there.
won-
He's not there.
No, but we're basing it on last season.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
So
putting
I
Sarri
put
over.
Sarri over Guardiola. Why? Because Sarri's had the team for 1 year and he won the Europa League and got third place when everybody was already calling him shit and wanted him out of the club.
Well, with all due respect, Chris, I think
With all due disrespect. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
look, fair enough, you put Sarri there, but the Europa League, in my opinion, for a team like Chelsea, isn't really that big of a competition.
Not at all.
Like, no disrespect, but
They still had one of the best players in the world, Hazard.
yeah, and they were playing pub teams with like Frankfurt. That's ridiculous, man. Like, it's
Hey,
not
they
the
had your
Champions
boy
League.
Jovic. Relax.
Yeah, but still, man. Do you even know what position Frankfurt finished in the
I think
Bundesliga?
they were like 5th.
Exactly, and like the Bundesliga overall is like a worse league in the Premier League. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough. But I mean, I still think that what he
We
accomplished
get it, Chris.
in 1 year
You like
was
him because
better.
he's Italian.
No,
It's
I just
okay.
like him because he's good. I like Guardiola too. Don't get me wrong. I just think that more props should be given to Sarri. Sarri was leading a team that hated the guy, and he still managed to push it out of his ass or whatever. So I put Sarri second. I put Guardiola third, Ole fourth, and
Wow.
then Unai fifth.
what about
Reason why I put
what about
Pochettino?
Pochettino?
I mean, my bad, Pochettino, not Unai. My bad. I confused them too.
So
But
Pochettino gets 5th. You really like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
I think what he did, I think the reason he came into a falling club and like a lot of like criticism, there's a lot
Yeah.
of pressure by being a coach of Man United, like such a huge
I
club.
would say the most pressure in the Premier League is being the coach of Man United.
exactly, and he managed to actually sort of turn the team around, and now I'm excited to see what he does with the squad. Now that he's given like a proper transfer window.
Well,
So-
we got this young kid, Daniel James, who's been performing really well in preseason, running the wing like, I might say a flashback Ryan Giggs. I'm not gonna get that excited, but there's a lot of news. I'm gonna use this conversation to piggyback on to the biggest news of the week, which is Juventus's interest in Lukaku coming out of nowhere, and Dybala wanting to switch, maybe wanting to switch teams and join the Red Devils. So there's a lot of news. There's a lot of he said, she said, a lot of hoopla, a lot of stuff. What do you guys think about this whole scandal? What do you guys think about Lukaku maybe joining Fiorentina? Sorry, Juventus with teaming up with Ronaldo, and Dybala joining his boy Pogba back and the Red Devils.
I think it beat my bad. I mean to
No,
cut you
no,
off, but
Yo, you guys are excited. I'm so hyped right
yeah,
now.
because this is a good. I like this. This week is gonna be fun. I like it. I think honestly, Dybala going to Man United, switching for Lukaku, that's a win for Man United.
Of course, huge win.
Yeah, that's you could say daylight robbery. No disrespect.
I mean,
but
I think that they're gonna give money too. I don't think it's just a flat out switch.
it's possible.
I'm just telling you
We don't
right
know for
now,
sure.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went to Publix the other day and he bought a ski mask here.
Look, yeah, it's a robbery for Manchester United, but I just don't understand, Chris. If you really rate Saudi that high, why would you want a crap player like Lukaku? Yes, he'll score goals, but at the same time, Saudi really likes playing with technical players. Look at his pass forwards: Higuain, Mertens.
Higuain's technical?
I mean, dude, his hold-up play is really
good.
good.
Lukaku in his prime, when he was in the best form of his life at Everton, was one of the best strikers in the world.
In the world.
I think he was easily top 10 in the world, and you could even argue top 5 in his prime when he was scoring 30 goals a season.
I don't know about all that, but I do think that Saudi can. I mean, Saudi turned on Higuain that was turned down from
Milan,
from Real Madrid.
Oh yeah.
In Napoli, and made him a pretty good striker in Napoli. I mean, I think he could do the same with Lukaku. I don't think Lukaku's a washed-up player. I just think, I don't know, he's lost his touch and he's lost his form at Man United. I think this going to Juve might be a good refresh for him. But also, I think that Juve are pushing for Lukaku as hard as they are because of Inter wanting to Lukaku. So they're like, fuck it, since Dybala wants to leave, let's take advantage and fuck Inter over, who Inter have a good chance of winning the of contesting for the league because now they got Conte. So I think to mess up their chances, and they saw that opportunity as we're gonna get a pretty good player and money for Lukaku, and we're gonna give away Dybala, which we're looking to give away anyways. I think that's why you were pushing so much for Lukaku. That's my opinion.
Chris, Dybala doesn't want to leave. According to reports, he wants to stay and fight for his place.
No, they want to leave.
They want him to leave.
Oh, okay, they're trying to force him out.
Yeah, they're trying to force him out, and Dybala said that the only 2 teams that he would go to are Madrid
and
or Barca. But the thing is that none of those teams want him.
Yeah.
So if it were up to him, if I were him at least, not just trying to be as impartial as I can, I would choose the team that wants me and the team that wants to pay me, and the chance of teaming up with an old teammate as Pogba. I think that's a huge deal, and I think that's a huge thing that draws him at least towards United. It's not like he's gonna end up at Bayern or something where there's no one there that he knows, no one there he wants to know,
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, look, no disrespect, but United aren't really in the best shape.
Oh no, I totally agree. But he's like caught between a rock and a hard place.
That's true.
Either you go to United, who wants you, and you have a chance of building something great and becoming, a legend at a club, or you go to a team, you stay at a team and try to fight for a position that they don't want you there. Sarri doesn't believe in you. According to reports, he's meeting with Sarri this week to get his final, decision and stuff like that. And by the end of the week, we could have an announcement on what he's gonna do. But if I were me and they're telling me, hey, we don't want you here, we don't want you here at all. You can go. We're gonna trade you for Lukaku, and I would take that as a huge diss if I was Dybala. I'm like, I scored 20 goals a season for you guys, and you guys want to swap me out for a guy who has a terrible first touch and who can't score first time shots. Like, Lukaku's being harassed in the media. Like, I'm not saying Lukaku's a bad player. That's just a little exaggerated joke, but. Lukaku being harassed in the media for having a terrible touch and having a terrible shooting and not being able to do this and not being able to do that, and then they're wanting to swap him for him. Like that's terrible disrespect.
No, I agree, Ronald, but it's just like, look, there's a few issues with that, right? For one, look, it's most likely that Ollie's going to play a 4-3-3, right? Dybala hates playing on the wing. They're obviously going to play him on the right wing. I mean, look where they play Lingard, look where they play Mata. They're both number 10s, right? But they play both on the right wing. Dybala automatically is going to hate playing on the right wing. Second, sorry, Chris.
My bad, go.
Second, yeah, you're right. He does have his boy Pogba there, and they did have good memories in Juventus. But at the same time, Pogba hopefully is going to go to Real Madrid if the offers met, that Manchester United want. So, his friend could be leaving. Thirdly, if Pogba leaves, then for the most part, no disrespect, but United have no midfield. I mean, I don't really trust Fred or Pereira or McTominay.
I trust Fred
Matic.
and Nick Sauce.
And losing Herrera.
Oh, that's true. They did lose Herrera.
He wasn't even our best player.
So
Herrera was a pretty good player.
Look,
he was a great player, but not our best.
Exactly. So look, that's 3 points right there. Like, yes, the money would be nice, and yeah, you're gonna play in a tougher league with better players, which it could make you a better player. At the same time, United have a history of having South American players not really play well for them. Look at Di Maria. Look at Veron. Dybala could be the same.
Alexis.
What about Tevez?
Oh, Alexis, that's right.
What about Tevez, who played well for us?
He's the exception. Like I said, I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it's
Valencia.
it's likely to happen. Yeah, that's true. But Valencia, yeah.
I think it's not up to the country where the player's from. I think it's more about the player and and their mentality and their their will to win and their will to show up every day and want to make something out of it. And look, honestly, if I was a football player and I was famous and I had all this stuff, I would want to be at a team that genuinely feels like they care about me. I feel like like there's a lot of fans for these other clubs like Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, PSG, and all that stuff. But those people those fans tend to not care about their players as much as a team. Look, think about those small teams. Being a fan of United, I've noticed that a lot of the fans that are huge fans they treat the team almost like a family, like it was back then, back in the old days where that was the local team and that's why you supported it. So it's something like that. It's something that atmosphere And you know how there's always that argument between Messi and Ronaldo, how they always say, oh, but Messi can Messi do it on a cold wet night in Stoke? Can Messi do it in the Premier League? Messi's never been there, never done that. So he's done things on incredible stages, but can he do it week in, week out in the toughest league in the world? And I don't think anyone can argue that the Premier League isn't the most competitive league in the world. Competitive being the toughest to win because there's so many teams that are good and so many teams that can cause upsets.
Okay.
We had so many upsets. Remember, I think it was 3 or 4 seasons ago when West Ham was third for 3 months because they kept upsetting huge teams and they were owning the top 6 in the Premier League. They were showing up every single week and they were dominating.
That was mostly due to Payet. He was a brilliant player.
Yeah.
Honestly, I agree with you, Ronald. The Premier League, in my opinion, is the best league in the world.
Think about small teams like that. There's teams in the Premier League 10th. They're 10th in the league. And spend 30 million, 40 million. And in any other league, for a team to do that, they have to be in the top 3, top 4. Not top 10 to spend 30, 40 million on a player. There's a lot of money in the Premier League. Yeah. That's what makes it so competitive. So it makes it so equally balanced between every team.
Well, look at we don't have to look very far. Leicester, what is that? Leicester winning a Premier League trophy with the budget of 100 million for their whole organization, not just the team. So there's a lot there. So moving on to another news that has been crowding over the social media waves, and a lot of people have been talking about it. The potential signing from Arsenal of Lille's player Nicolas Pep for 80 million. Apparently, it's a lot of money. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of Arsenal fans are excited about it. Obviously, I'm a United fan, so I might not like Arsenal fans. But at the same time, this is a great signing for their club, and it could be something huge for them. I still think that they do need a defender, but that's besides me.
I don't know. I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't know if that was a great signing. 80 million, that was a bit much. Yes, the kid's good, but where has he proven himself that much to be worth 80 million?
I mean, Chris, look, these players are. It's all over. Look at players like Hazard. They had a great season. Boom, he gets to move to Chelsea. Look at Mbappe. Had a great season in Monaco. Boom, gets to move to PSG.
Bro, think about it. Chelsea sold.
That's right.
Chelsea sold Eden Hazard for 100 million pounds, 100 million euros. This kid went for 80 million. So you're telling me for 20 million more, they could have gotten Hazard? Fuck it, I'm buying Hazard.
Yeah, but look, Chris, they're paying in installments. They're paying very cheap up front, and it's over time they're gonna pay little more.
So, a lot of people when this came out, there was a huge controversy because not too long ago, Arsenal was trying to sign Wilfred Zaha, and they literally couldn't. I think it was Crystal Palace wanted a 60 million, and Arsenal said no, we don't even have 60 million. We can only give you 45.
I heard 80 million pounds.
Yeah, or whatever. Even 80 million pounds is ridiculous for Zaha. But so Crystal Palace wanted 60 to 80 million pounds, and Arsenal said we don't have that. So now for them to put out this big boy offer of 80 million pounds against Lille's the Ivorian winger, man, it's a huge signing. If they make it, it's a huge deal.
Look, I agree, Ronald, but look. Obviously, they worked out a deal where, look, Arsenal probably going to pay him 20 to 40 mil up front and give him 10 mil here, 10 mil there, and it'll add up to 80 million.
The kid terrorized this league. The league was terrorized this year by Nicolas Pep. He was one of the best players in the league.
Exactly. I think he was second top scorer only behind Mbappe, if I'm not mistaken, right? He scored more goals than Neymar, but Neymar was injured, so.
They can't really hold it against Neymar. I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if Neymar look, Neymar dives on purpose so to avoid injuries. According to him and his father, I feel like if he dived less, he'd be, he'd have less injuries. But that's just my opinion. But we'll see.
Which granted, yeah, he scored 22 goals and 11 assists.
That's very impressive.
That's in the League One.
Yeah.
But last year, the year before that, he had scored 13 goals, which is still pretty good.
Yeah, for a winger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But that's what I'm saying is he had one explosive year. One decent, good year and an explosive year. Now, it could mean that they were smart and bought it quickly enough before his price skyrocketed to like 120, 130.
It's one of those that could
it's a risk,
go either
and it's
way.
a very high risk that they're taking. Where I believe they could have spent it on what was more necessary.
I mean, I agree, Chris, with you 100%. But it's just, look, yeah, you're right. A defender for Arsenal, like especially a player like Koulibaly or maybe even Harry Maguire would have been more crucial.
Mm-hmm.
But look, those teams obviously aren't going to take like 20, 40 million now and 10 million there and 10 million here. It's not going to happen with this team. That's obviously what happened with Liverpool because, look, let's be honest, Arsenal don't have a spending owner like Abramovich like Chelsea does or like Manchester City does.
No, by the way,
Stan Kroenke does not like spending
should.
money.
No team should, by the way, because there is financial fair play, which I love it how it only kicks in whenever the fuck they feel like and not when like it should. Because like think about like Arsenal is being constricted by it, and a lot of other teams are as well. And then there's teams that just spend whatever they want and they don't do anything about it. So they either act fairly upon every team, or they just dissolve the damn thing and go back to how things work, which I don't think it should be. I think financial fair play has a right to be in football, and it's a smart move.
I don't know. It's kind of communist, if you ask me.
It isn't, because it helps teams,
When
and
you
it
have
prevents
the money, you spend it.
But the thing is
exactly,
that
I understand.
if you have the money, but if you don't, if you're loaning money and you're putting your own team in debt, that's what financial fair play is there for, from preventing teams to go into debt from loaning too much. Because what teams have been recently doing is loaning from banks and then not paying back, and then they find themselves in financial strain and get freaking relief from
yeah, but they're only allowed to spend like 100 million more than what they make, right? According to the rules from what I read.
I'm not too sure. I don't remember.
So another huge news that isn't being talked about very much either is the potential for Sané from Man City to sign with Bayern. There's been a lot of scandals and a lot of talking about it. A lot of talking in the Bundesliga media, but it hasn't been talked a lot in the popular media. So what do you guys think about that? A lot of fans are saying that he would be a welcome guest.
Look, I'd love that you brought this up, Ronald, because I actually feel very passionate about this. Look, no disrespect to Bayern, but Bundesliga is a pub league. It's compared to the Premier League.
Fired. We're gonna have some Bundesliga fans, Brian.
Look, sorry to them, but look,
fans.
it's not a league. Bayern win every year. Look what happened. I think Dortmund were like 10 points ahead at some point last season, and Bayern still caught up. It's ridiculous. It's not a league. It's not. Look, no disrespect to Bayern, but it's just like I feel like the best players should be either in La Liga or the Premier League. I feel like Bayern should sign, I don't know, Leon Bailey or maybe a Nicolas Pepe or someone else.
That's the rumor that if they don't get Sané, that they were gonna go for Pep or not for Pepe, for Leon Bailey of
Bayer
Leverkusen. So I think it's a good signing. Leon Bailey's been performing well in the Bundesliga for a while now, and we haven't really seen him that much in the Champions League or any other competition. And look what they did with what's this guy? The guy from Arsenal who was a reject, and then they signed Serge Gnabry. They signed him, and now he's performing, and he's showing up in games and scoring goals and doing all this stuff. So I don't know, man. Bayern has this thing where they tend to rejuvenate players, and I don't know. Sané has been performing well for City, but he's still coming off the bench. A lot of people are calling out for Pep to start him. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, Pep, like this kid deserves to get a chance, deserves to perform." But obviously, when you have players like Bernardo Silva and you have players like De Bruyne and you have players that are outperforming him, it's tough. It's a tough spot for him. And City haven't won a league, a title besides the Premier League. So is it something that he wants to stay there and he wants to compete for the Champions League with City, or does he want to move to another team? Because honestly, if you ask me, in my personal opinion, I think Bayern have a better chance of winning the Champions League than City.
No, man. Look, Bayern have the whole. I think they're missing. I think Thomas Muller was doing a video with ESPN like 2 weeks ago, and they only have like 17 players. They need at least 5 or 6 more players for a complete squad of like 23, 24.
Bayern have money, man.
Yeah, they have money, but they don't. Their owner doesn't spend it. Look, Bayern are penny pinching for Sané. They only want to spend like I think it was like 80 million euros to 100 million euros.
Only?
Yeah, only. But I think Sané is worth 150 million like minimum. Sure. Nah, man. I think he's the best. All right, the best young left winger in the world. Name me one that's not Neymar. Left winger.
The guy
Vinicius. No. His end product is trash. Look, he's a great player, and he'll be a great talent in the future. But as of right now, his end product is trash. Sané is very clinical.
Nicolas Pepe.
He's a right winger.
He's a right winger?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't name me a better left winger. You can't.
By young, what do you mean by young?
Like 25 and younger.
25 and younger.
I think Sané is like 23 or 24.
I don't really know.
26 and older is in your prime.
Well, Son is a left winger.
Yeah, but I think Sané had more goals and more assists.
Than Heung-min Son?
Yeah, check right now.
Well, we can fact check that now, but look, I said Sané is a great player, but I don't know if he demands 150 million. That's Neymar money, man.
Yeah, but look, Sané is very young. I think he had like 16 goals and 17 assists for being, for the most part, off the bench. Like, you imagine if he started every single game? Guy had 20-something goals and 20-something assists, minimum.
Yeah, Pep doesn't give him the chance.
Look, it's because, from what I understand, alright, obviously I don't know what's going on between Pep and Sané's head, but it's just that Sané isn't... Look, Pep's a very stubborn man. He is. He ever since his Barcelona days, that's how he's always been. I remember Thierry Henry did an interview with Sky Sports where he said, I scored a goal, but because I didn't follow Pep's instructions, he benched me the next game. He's a very stubborn man. He wants you to do a certain thing, so even though Sané would be brilliant, if he wouldn't follow Pep's instructions, he wouldn't, he wouldn't play. Like, Pep's boss at City. You have to follow his rules. That's what De Bruyne does. That's what Silva does. That's what Bernardo does. That's what Sterling does. That's what Aguero... Look at Aguero. Aguero, when Pep first came, he got benched for a few games, played Jesus for a few, and then Aguero eventually bowed out, and he's like, all right, Pep, you're boss. I'll do whatever you're saying. Boom. He followed his instructions. So
yeah, man. Yeah. No, look, certain clubs are run certain ways. So
I don't know. I mean, I feel like a better not better left winger, but a left winger I would, if I had to spend that much money for a left winger, I would try out Sessegnon.
Nah.
Sessegnon's played over 100 games in the BPL. He's still 19 years old, and I think he's ready to be moved up to...
You're talking about the one from Fulham, right?
Yeah.
I heard he's been playing more at left back. I'll be honest, I didn't watch him on
He's like left back, left mid.
Yeah,
but I think he's more of like
kind of like a Cuadrado guy.
Yeah, but Sané's a forward. He's a left wing, a left forward.
No. I understand you. I'm not.
No, but if Chris is saying value for money.
Yeah, I'm saying if I was out for a left
you could probably get a Sessegnon for like 12 million, 13 million, maybe the highest point like 25 million.
All right.
So he's saying instead of paying 25 million, instead of paying 120 million for Sané,
I'd rather try Sessegnon.
You'd rather try Sessegnon because you don't know what he could turn into. With Sané, we know his trajectory. He's a great scorer. He's a great clinical finisher.
And he's not in his prime yet. He's going to hit his peak in a few years. Look,
we'll see. And, we've seen a lot of players bow out in their peak and not be successful. The likes of Robinho and the likes of, all these great players that came up and then now they're nobodies,
Look, that's true. But at the same time, it's just like, from what I see, Sané's only going nowhere but up. Look, he'll do well with Bayern. He'll destroy that league. He'll probably get like 20-something goals, maybe like 20 assists, no doubt. But it'd be
really cool to see him with Lewandowski up top. And now that they got rid of Robin and Ribery, that'd be dope.
Yeah, but at the same time, they still need backup wingers. Look, it'll be probably, if they do sign him, it'll probably be Gnabry, Lewandowski, and Sané. That'll no doubt win in the league. No disrespect to Dortmund, who I know they signed a couple great players, but it's just like, I think Sané should stay in a league where he plays better players week in, week out.
So, quick fact check.
Yeah.
Son scored more goals than Sané in all competitions.
Well, he did start more, so it makes sense.
But Sané had more assists. So, there's this and that. So, Sané had 8 more assists than Son's 8. Sané had 18 assists, Son had 10. Mm-hmm. And then, Son scored 20 goals to Sané's 16. So, there's give and take there. They're both great players. It's
But
something we
Son's
can talk
older though,
about.
and he started more games.
No, correct.
And he played
So-
and he played a striker more.
Correct.
Because Harry Kane was
Correct. So another huge news that hit small market BPL team, and kind of a big blow, in my opinion at least, to a big Italian giant is AC Milan's letting go of Cutrone, and Wolverhampton Wanderers picking him up and getting the signature from the big Italian man. You know, a guy that we've been talking about a lot in the last couple of summers for a big blowout season coming, and Milan just let him walk. I think they got, for the man, I think they got about 20 million. But at the same time, you know, is that in today's market for a kid who's on the verge, on the cusp of having one great season and being a top striker? You know, we got to talk about that.
I mean, I think Moise Keane, who just went to Everton, is going to be a better Italian striker, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, but I'll let Chris take over, because I know Chris knows about this more than you and I combined, Ronald.
Oh, do I now? Okay, honestly,
It's a little sexual. It's weird.
I love Cutrone. I feel very, very, very sad for letting him go. I think before we let him go, they're saying that we needed to make money so we could sign other people. Who did we sign? We signed Leao for £30 million from the French league, which honestly I don't know if that was a smart move. We sold Cutrone for 20, including bonuses, to get Leao for 30. When Cutrone is a proven. Well, not proven. He's
at least in Italy he is. He scored 18 goals.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah. 2 years ago he scored 18 goals in all competitions, and I think
he was like 19.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Exactly. Like I don't understand. Like he was 19. He was more than happy to fight for his position after Piatek, because Piatek is obviously gonna be the starting striker.
Yeah, he's more experienced.
But under Piatek, Cutrone loves the team so much, he would have been more than happy to stay in the team and play as a second striker, and even push himself to, sometimes, get that starting position over Piatek and show what he's worth. I think he would have been smarter to keep and maybe sold other players, which I believe should be sold. For example, Kalanoglu. I hate that man. He should go back to fucking Germany. No disrespect to the guy. He seems like a professional, like a very professional player in person, but I mean, I don't know. He just doesn't fit our play style and our style, which is something that our new coach is trying to implement. And I don't know. I feel financially was Cutrone being sold was not the best decision. I think he would have been fine as a second choice for Piatek.
And you guys are in the Europa League this season, right?
No, we sat out of it so we could get financial relief.
Financial relief.
Which I think was smart. I mean, Europa League is obviously a good competition, but it was not something that we're aiming for. We're aiming for the Champions League. Yeah. So taking a year out and having this year to rebuild the squad, I think is what we should be doing.
I think
as of right now, I am not pleased and I'm not happy with the transfers that Milan is doing. Maybe I really hope that I am wrong and I am biting myself when I say this, but yeah, I really do hope I am wrong. And so far, I'm not too pleased with our transfer. For example, another transfer. I know I'm ranting about Milan. But another transfer that happened recently was getting Duarte. Well, it's not official yet, but Duarte from the Brazilian league. We gave away Zapata. Zapata was a great second choice center back. That last year he had a great season. He would come in and out of the bench when needed. He would start when needed because of injuries or yellow and red cards. Why get rid of the guy to sign a 25? I forgot his age, but to sign Duarte for £11 million, who technical ability is more or less the same as Zapata. He's literally a copy of Zapata, and even his own coach back at his own club would say that the biggest flaw of Duarte was that he wasn't smart off the ball and on the ball, which is the same mistake that we had with Zapata. So I really don't understand that transfer either. So again, I really hope I'm wrong. I hope that these players become great players because I love the team, but I don't know so far.
So I think it's more of a loss to like the spirit of the team. I think having a young player from your academy, someone who, like, I was reading over it, has been in the academy since 2007. I'm talking about going on 12 years, 13 years with the academy. it's a big blow, man. And when you have someone come up like that, it inspires the team, it inspires the fans, and those fans grow an attachment to him. And then just to let him walk like that, because of prospect signings or people you have in the club now, I think that's a huge blow. It kind of reminds me of Pogba when he first left United. He left as this young kid who was thrown away to the sideline because no one believed in him, or X, Y, and Z. Other people were better than him. Obviously, when Pogba left, United had a stacked team. But at the same time, he joins another team and starts balling out. Is this maybe the reverse Pogba, leaving from Italy to the Premier League, starts balling out in the Premier League? It's something you could think of, because Pogba left from the Premier League to Italy and started balling out. So it's something you got to think about. We'll see. Wolverhampton has surprised a lot of people last season. They showed up out of nowhere and started dominating. A lot of their players were up for transfer rumors, and a lot of them haven't gone anywhere. So a lot of people are talking about Wolverhampton having a huge season this year. That's usually a curse in the Premier League. Whenever people are excited about a mid-tier to low-tier team, they tend to do very bad. When a couple seasons ago, I remember when people were excited about Bournemouth, and they flopped that season, ended up like 11th or 12th. And then the season that Leicester, no one talked about them. They won the league. So it's kind of like a Horcrux in the Premier League to be excited about a young up-and-coming team. But Wolverhampton have me excited, man. And as a United fan, they dominated us last season when we played them. And, it was tough to see my team lose to them. But it was exciting to see, it kind of inspired that fire of like a small team playing very well. And, being very, very good.
I mean, just to move on really quickly, they play very well because they have a Portuguese coach that parks the bus, no offense, which is, I find them very strange because they have good young players. They just got, they just signed Crotone, like you said. They signed Vallejo on loan from Real Madrid, which I thank them for that, because although I like Vallejo, very good on the ball, good defender, he's just very injury prone from Real Madrid. But I think he'll be even more injury prone in the Premier League, which is more faster, physical.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll do well over there.
I mean, I think
we'll see. Wolverhampton's exciting to watch, man. Well, guys, really quick before we wrap up, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit like on the video. Comment any questions or suggestions you guys might have. On the social medias, we are the WKND Podcast or WKND League. On Instagram and Twitter, we are the WKND League. Make sure you guys hit us with that follow, and you can, start interacting with us on there. We've been talking a lot about transfer rumors. We've been talking. We're gonna start working on stuff like that, making more posts about upcoming rumors and transfers and etc. And we're very excited about the future of this podcast and what this could bring. Hopefully, you guys join us along for the ride. This is Ronald signing off.
Yeah, guys, we really love any feedback, anything that you guys have to give, even though if it might be, you might think it's stupid to even say anything. But we really appreciate it. For example, shout out to our boy Danny. Hopefully you're hearing this, bro. I really appreciate what you said. I really took that in consideration, and you're right. I think it helps us, stuff like that. So if you guys have stuff to say like that, and just hit us up, Instagram, Twitter, say what you want to listen. Like, hey, I want to hear what you guys have to say about the certain team. What do you think about this certain transfer?
I'll talk about the Swedish league if you want me to.
Yeah, anything. Throw anything at us. I think it's super cool. So yeah, just let us know.
Also, guys, to add, we'll also be on Spotify and SoundCloud soon, and if we can figure it out, iTunes. iTunes is just a little more complicated at the moment, but I'm sure we'll figure it out sooner or later. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Also, shout out to Billy, who's also giving us the shout outs on Instagram.
Yeah, bro, I love you, Billy Dog.
Alright, guys, and we'll see you later.
Take care. See you guys next week. WKND signing off.